Wipe that smile off your face. Stephen A., which team has a better chance to make it and win the Super Bowl, Philly or Big D?
Well, first of all, neither's going to win the Super Bowl, but I will say this to you. It might shock you, Will. I'd say the Dallas Cowboys have a better chance than the Philadelphia Eagles at this particular moment in time. Listen, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, all right, you got Jordan Howard. People are going to sit up here and make a big deal about it. Had 778 carries over the last 3 years. His yards per carry have dipped. 5.2 3 years ago, 4.1 a couple of years ago, 3.7 last year. He's dipped, had 24 touchdowns. I get all of that over the last 3 years. I mean, that's up there top 3 with anybody in the NFL. So he deserves our respect for that. But basically, you're getting him for short yardage situations, so you don't have to always throw the damn football. Jay is not there, so he's not healthy. So obviously, you got Jordan Howard. You'll see what happens. But I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys right now. Listen, even though he's slow as hell, he's just always open. I'm talking about Jason Witten. I'm looking at Randall Cobb. I think that's an upgrade from Cole Beasley. I don't think there's any question about that. Listen, you got guys like Tavon Austin, Randall Cobb, and those guys. They're not, they ain't going to knock your socks off, but you already got a number one in Amari Cooper. You already got a stud in Ezekiel Elliott. You already got a guy that's proven he can ball at the quarterback position in a Dak Prescott, who's only going to get better because of his experience. I think the combination of all of those things combined with how their defenses look. By the way, they restructured Sean Lee's deal, even though he ain't that guy. It's Smith and Van Der Esch that are going to be the guys. But Sean Lee, in terms of his experience and when he's healthy, what he's capable of doing, certainly doesn't take away anything from that defense. It buffers it. So, and I don't expect them to lose to Marcus Lawrence. I think that ultimately, if all else fails, he's going to take $20 million because you don't walk away from $20 million. Even though he doesn't want to be franchised, he wants a long-term deal. So all of those things taken into consideration, I think the defense is still going to be what it is. I think offensively led by Dak and Zeke and Amari, they're there. I think Randall Cobb is a key because I think he's an elevation from Cole Beasley. And because of that, I would give them the edge over Philadelphia. We'll see what transpires in the season because I damn sure ain't rooting for it. But just being fair and pragmatic for the moment, without being emotional, I look at the Dallas Cowboys and I feel more better about them than I do about the Eagles at this point.
Are you quite done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You don't get to take the Cowboys. All we ever hear from you, there is a song that is played every time in a video.
It was 2 minutes long, Max.
It's a beautiful song.
By the way, the accident waiting to happen. By the way, the whole impact player after impact player off the defense. Maybe also DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, they signed Quinn. Is that to buffer the defense? Sure, but isn't it also to give them some leverage over DeMarcus Lawrence in the contract negotiation? And we just saw Le'Veon Bell hold out all year. And I know we've argued on this show. Will said yesterday, yeah, but the signal sent to the players, you can lose a year of money. Yeah, but then he did get a contract, and his team missed the playoffs. And right now is when Dak is on his rookie deal. They got to strike right now. You think DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't have leverage? Are you sure if they mess around, they're going to get something done? Because I'm not. You of all people take it. And then, what's more galling is you were sitting here talking about let Nick Foles go if you're the Eagles. Well, listen, if you're not going to take the Eagles, 2 years ago, they don't win the Super Bowl without Nick Foles. Last year, they don't make the playoffs without Nick Foles. Carson Wentz was hurt both times. Who says he could have even performed on that level in the playoffs, as excellent as Carson Wentz is? Yeah, but you were the one saying you can win with Carson Wentz, let Nick Foles go. I was sitting here saying it's an insurance policy. With Wentz on his rookie deal, pay Foles, and it's like you're paying one giant quarterback. You just won a Super Bowl and made another playoff run. You said let Foles go, and now you're taking the Cowboys?
Yes, first of all, I would ask you to calm down. You're being a little bit too emotional at this particular moment in time. I think you need to calm down. That's number one. Number two, I've religiously stated this on many occasions, both to you, Victor, and everybody else. I said what can go wrong will go wrong. You didn't hear me saying the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl championship. As far as I'm concerned, the higher they climb, the better it is for me because when they fall, it's going to be that much more painful. They're not winning the Super Bowl, and that's all I care about. All I care about is that when the final bell sounds, all right, and we crown a champion, that it ain't them. because of the disgusting, nauseating
right,
fan
look,
base.
look,
that
look,
they
look,
have.
My
look,
opinion may
look,
be
we gotta give
unpopular too, but I'm
There
going
you
with the
go.
Cowboys as well. I mean,
There
when
we
you
go.
look at them on paper and you look at them from the receiving core, the addition of Randall Cobb, which is an upgrade from Cole Beasley, with the return of Jason Witten, who always finds a way to be open, and with Dak Prescott with another year of him maturing and him understanding what it takes to get to, to advance in the playoffs and to get deeper, and what it takes as a team and as a quarterback and the things that he has to understand. I'm buying that. I think the Cowboys definitely have what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl and deep into the playoffs next year. And look, the only thing that pretty much stopped them was that defensive front, right? That the Rams just chopped right through. C.J. Anderson and those guys just really ripped through that defensive line. The addition of Robert Quinn. We know the question mark of Gregory, but they got to get DeMarcus Lawrence done. That's the only way that they're going to have a formidable defensive front to compete week in and week out with not just the NFC East, but with the entire NFL. But I think the Cowboys have more pieces, more weapons around Dak Prescott, and more, and I like Dak Prescott's maturity level coming into this year, another year of him developing and getting some new weapons to throw to as well.
What about Carson Wentz, though? One of the things about that Joe Santoliquito article on Carson Wentz and Nick Foles that got everyone in Philly all upset, actually, I think it was a good thing for the Eagles, because what was clear is that Carson Wentz works hard and has good intentions. And his reaction,
He just gotta stay
even
healthy,
to the
Max. He just gotta stay healthy.
No doubt. But assuming health for a second, his reaction to some of what his teammates were saying, off the record or as background to reporters, his reaction to that tells me that it was a good thing. It was eye-opening for him.